can't miss this story. According to the New York Post, there is a New York parent who wants to marry his or her own child. We do not know whether this individual is a man or a woman, this parent, because the person who has filed this court document wants to remain anonymous because obviously this person is a sicko. And we also don't know the sex of the child because in the last 5 or 7 years we've redefined marriage, fundamentally redefined marriage to take sexual difference out of it. So we don't know, is it a daughter, is it a son? We don't know. Here's what we do know. As a matter of, quote, individual autonomy, this parent wants to remain anonymous because what he or she wants is, quote, an action that a large segment of society views as morally, socially, and biologically repugnant. But what this person wants is, quote, through the enduring bond of marriage, two persons, whatever relationship they might otherwise have with one another, can find a greater level of expression, intimacy, and spirituality, and therefore this person wants to marry his or her child. That language, maybe intentionally so, is the language of Anthony Kennedy's decision in Obergefell v. Hodges, the decision that redefined marriage from the court bench to include monogamous same-sex unions. The question, I wonder if this is a troll. I wonder if this parent suing to marry his or her own son or daughter is doing so to make a point, or maybe it's real though. I mean, this sort of creepy stuff does happen a lot in our culture. Regardless, the question I have is, by the logic of Obergefell, by the logic according to which the Supreme Court, specifically Anthony Kennedy, redefined marriage to include monogamous same-sex unions, why should this matter be any different? Why should these people be excluded from this important bond of marriage? Why should these people's individual autonomy between consenting adults, who, by the way, can't procreate, it says in the court documents they can't procreate, so who knows, maybe it's an age thing, maybe it's a sex thing, who knows? Why should they be excluded for that? What's the argument? What's the argument? Well, because it's wrong. Well, that's what you say. But, that's just your opinion, man. Come on, man. That's just your value system. Maybe people have other value systems. Doesn't marriage expand intimacy? Well, Antonin Scalia had a great line about this, which is he says, Anthony Kennedy says that marriage expands intimacy. But as someone who's been in a long-time marriage, I think actually marriage restricts rather than expands intimacy. Ask the nearest hippie, which is a great line. Marriage expands spirituality. What does that mean? I have no idea. Neither does Kennedy. Neither does the person writing this. But what's the limiting principle? There isn't one. So then maybe we need to rethink some of the radicalism that we've engaged in the last few years. Not because we hate people, first of all, not because we hate homosexuals, right? No one's saying we need to outlaw homosexuals. No one's saying that at all. But what the left has done, because they're so smart about this, they conflate these two things. They say, well, if you don't want to radically redefine the fundamental political institution and cultural institution, by the way, the building block of society, the family, if you don't want to fundamentally redefine it from what it's been for all of human history everywhere on earth, then you hate gay people and you want to ban them and you don't want to let them do anything and you're mean. What are you talking about? Well, what they're talking about is using language, a topic I talk about at great length, by the way, in Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds, available now for pre-order. Using language to redefine these cultural questions and these political questions, and then bullying you, the conservative, tricking you, the conservative, into only focusing on the cultural matters, where, by the way, the right is not wielding power anyway, and totally conceding the political realm. Seems like a big trick. Seems like we should wake up to it and start fighting back. If you enjoyed that break from disinformation, historical revision, and screaming about the end of the world, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss another video.